Next up is watercolor options. So if you don't have watercolors like these at home or like the temper cakes that we use at school, you have a couple options. I have 3 easy ones right here to do at home. So 2 of them involve markers. One involves markers that are no longer working very well. So all you need to do for this project is find your markers that don't really work, and you're going to take your marker and you're just going to plunk it right in to your water. And you can see already the ink and the pigments coming right out of this marker and filling up the water. When you do this, if you only have 1 marker, just make sure you use a little bit of water. Otherwise the pigment might not be too bright. I'm going to show you what a couple of these look like actually. Yeah, so I have, here's my green. These ones are, they've only been soaking for a little while. I recommend leaving these overnight. These have only been soaking for a couple hours. So the green is still a little faint, but definitely some green there. And then my yellow is a little bit brighter. On the screen, I guess it doesn't look too bright. The red looks like it definitely could sit a little bit longer. But you can see those are nice faint colors. You can kind of use those. If you let them sit overnight, they definitely come out brighter. Another option, get these out of the way, is to use your markers on a plastic baggie. So I have, these are markers that work well. So what you can do is take your plastic baggie. You can do this a couple of different ways. I'll show you a couple different ways. You can take your plastic baggie and draw a little spot with your red. Then you can take, I'm going to take a little cup of water here and my paintbrush, get my paintbrush just a little wet. I don't want it soaking, it doesn't need to be dripping, but I can just kind of pick up the marker and paint it right on. So that's a nice bright way to work. So you can make yourself a little palette here, some red there, some orange there, some yellow here. Kind of do a little rainbow palette. You can just wash your brush off and you can do a little swirl and you can paint, and you can see that's nice bright color that you end up with. So that's another option. Another cool thing that you can do with this plastic bag is, I'll just keep going right from where I am. I'm just going to do a whole bunch of spots here. This is kind of a printmaking technique, not really watercolor related, but since I have the baggie out, I can show you what it would look like. So I'll just take a few colors, go like that. You can either wet your paper. I'm going to use this side of the paper. You can either wet your paper, or if you have a spray bottle, you can kind of spray the baggie a little bit, but I'm just going to wet the paper here. And all you have to do, you could draw a picture here, you could just do some designs, some little scribbles like I did. All you're going to do is take your paper, flip it over, put it down, give it a little rub, and all those colors are going to transfer onto your paper. So there's kind of a cool design right there. So this is pretty clean. You can just take a napkin, finish cleaning it off, and you can reuse your plastic baggie over and over again. So that's another option for your watercolors or a marker technique. And one more watercolor technique, as I spill water everywhere. You guys know at school I'm spilling water everywhere, left and right. Okay. Art is messy and we make mistakes a lot, but that's how we learn stuff. So for this one, I have a little ice cube tray and I have a few of these little wells filled with water. I like to use a little ice cube tray because it kind of gives you the same effect as if you had a watercolor palette in front of you. If you don't have this, you can certainly use those little paper Dixie cups like this and just fill each one up with a little bit of water. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to use food coloring. So I was at the grocery store and I bought some neon colors. I also had these regular red, yellow, blue, and green colors, but the neon look like fun, so I'll try these. So if you can get them out of the box, there they are. So this one's kind of a neon purple. I'm just going to do a couple of drops. The one caveat, the one warning that I have for food coloring is that it can stain. So a good idea is to do this on a cookie sheet or on some paper. That way if you make a little bit of a mess, it's not everywhere. So I'm just going to do a drop or two to start. 1, 2, let's try 2. Food color is very pigmented, so you'll get nice bright colors. So let's just mix that up and see how it looks. So it's a little light. Do one more drop. See how that comes out. Yeah, that's nice and bright. And then let's try the pink. 1, 2, 3, woo, 4. We'll give that a mix. That's a pretty color. We'll try this one. 1, 2, 3. Kind of wash my brush off a little bit on the paper. Woo, like that one. And then let's do this last blue. 1, 2. I bet the blue's going to be strong, so I'm going to do 3 drops in that one. Blue tends to be a strong pigment, so, oh yeah. Okay, so this is a cool technique to give yourself some good bright colors. You can make them as strong or as kind of muted as you want them to be. So I have one quick, fun thing for you to do with your watercolors, if I could get my paintbrush to stay. You just need a plain piece of paper and a white crayon, or in my case, I have my oil pastels, so I'm going to use a white oil pastel. Where did it go? Here it is. So you can do a few different things with your white. We've done this before at school. I call it crayon or wax resist. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a picture on here, and then I'm going to do some watercolors over it, and my drawing will kind of appear. So just since we had done some underwater creatures last week, I'm just going to do one more underwater creature. And at first, it's hard to see what's coming out, but you'll see in a second. One thing that you want to do when you're doing this, whether you're using crayon or oil pastel, is you want to press down really hard. Make sure you're pressing down really firmly. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll start with the blue. And the watercolors that we made, both with our food coloring or with the markers, either one, this would work really well because the colors are so vibrant and bright. So you can see I'm starting to reveal my sea creature, a little jellyfish here. Like that. So you could do a bunch of different drawings with this. You can try to mix your colors too. That lime green and that blue look really pretty together. The lime green and the purple, not so much. But so you could do a lot of different things. You could write your name with white and you could see how the colors resist. You could try other colors as well. And just play around with a little bit of wax resist. So any white crayon or oil pastel, and press down nice and firmly, and then take your watercolors on top of it, and you have kind of a cool little painting. All right, have fun, guys.